I found out why my autistic daughter screams every Tuesday at 3 p.m. The school janitor had been quietly saving her for months. I used to dread Tuesdays every week like clockwork. My 12-year-old daughter Lily would come home from school and have a complete meltdown at exactly 3 p.m. Not the typical tantrums most parents navigate. These were full-body, primal screams that would last for hours. Lily has nonverbal autism. She communicates through a tablet app, but emotional moments often leave her without words. When I'd ask what happened on Tuesdays, she'd just rock back and forth, tablet abandoned. I tried everything. Changed her Tuesday lunch, requested different classes, even drove her to school myself instead of letting her take the special needs bus. Nothing worked. The school counselor suggested it might be sensory overload from Tuesday's gym class, but removing her from PE didn't help. Last month, I reached my breaking point after a particularly brutal meltdown where Lily scratched her arms until they bled. I decided to pick her up early the following Tuesday to observe what might be triggering her at 2:30 p.m. I arrived at school and signed in at the office. Instead of announcing my arrival, I asked if I could quietly observe for a few minutes. The principal, knowing our struggles, agreed. I found Lily's class in the library. She wasn't having a meltdown pern. She was sitting calmly at a table, focused on a book about butterflies. My confusion deepened as the class lined up to return to their room. I followed at a distance. That's when I noticed an older man in a gray janitor's uniform watching the hallway intently. When Lily's class passed, he quickly turned away, pushing his mop toward the exit doors. Something made me follow him outside. I watched as he rushed toward the special needs buses. What happened next made my heart stop. The janitor approached the third bus in line, Lily's bus paired, and spoke urgently to the driver. The driver nodded and stepped out, walking toward the school building. The moment he was gone, the janitor climbed aboard. I ran toward the bus, terrified, but when I reached the steps, what I saw through the door left me frozen. The janitor was quickly moving through the bus, opening every window, all of them, even the small ones near the ceiling that required a special tool. He worked with practiced efficiency like he'd done this many times before. He finished, just as the driver returned, nodded respectfully, and disappeared around the corner with his mop. When Lily boarded 20 minutes later, there was no screaming, no meltdown. She came home calm and even used her tablet to tell me about the library books. The next Tuesday I arrived early again, same routine bored. The janitor waited until the driver left, then raced to open every window on Lily's bus. After the third week, I approached him as he finished. "Why are you opening the windows?" I asked. He started, clearly afraid he was in trouble. "I am sorry, ma'am. I don't mean no harm. I am Lily's mom," I explained. "The girl who used to scream every Tuesday." His weathered face softened. "The bus driver closes all the windows Monday nights when he cleans. The AC works better that way." He looked down at his worn boots. "But your girl, she needs the fresh air. I noticed it back in September when she'd calm down if I was working near the open windows. You've been doing this every Tuesday for months." He nodded. I tried telling the driver, but he didn't listen to an old janitor, so I just fixed it myself. Turns out Lily has severe sensory sensitivity to the cleaning chemicals used on the buses Monday nights. Without ventilation, the Tuesday afternoon rides were torture for her sensitive system. Yesterday, the school held a special assembly. The principal presented Mr. Wilson, the 68-year-old janitor who's worked at our school for 31 years, with an above and beyond award. Lily used her tablet to say thank you in front of everyone, but the real moment came after when she did something I'd never seen before. She reached out and touched Mr. Wilson's hand, paired physical contact she typically avoids at all costs. Sometimes the people who understand our children best are the ones we never even notice. The quiet heroes who don't need to be asked for help, they just see a problem and fix it one open window at a time.